I move this motion as it appears on the notice paper because I am so proud to do so as a part of a bipartisan show of support alongside the member for Lyons and alongside the member for Macquarie and the member for Fraser. I've been here for 8 years, same as the member for Macquarie, and I don't think I've ever seen this before, where a motion has been moved in this place with bipartisan support. Normally, these motions are an opportunity for the main parties to butt heads, but that is not an occasion for tonight. You might ask why I'm here talking about Tibetans when there are so many other issues affecting Australian families. I'm very lucky, as the member for Fisher, to represent some wonderful people from all corners of the world. We are home to the Chenrezig Institute, a home for Tibetan Buddhists, monks, nuns, students and interested travellers alike. I rise to speak on behalf of them and their loved ones, and I'm very pleased to see that there is a very strong show of the Tibetan community here in the chamber tonight. I rise to speak on behalf of Tsering, Tenzin and Samdon and the many Tibetan representatives here today. And I rise to speak because I can't stay silent. Every single day, the number of victims of the Chinese Communist regime grows. And for 7 decades, the people of Tibet, including Tibetan Buddhists, have borne the brunt of the most barbaric oppression. Even today, we see children abducted, trafficked and forced into boarding schools, which strip them of their cultural, religious and ethnic identity. They are taught that Tibet has long been part of China and reject China's brutal takeover in the 1950s. This systematic cultural assimilation seeks to crush Tibetans' identity, their culture and their religion. We see people of faith, democracy activists and minority groups forced into labour camps where they are beaten, tortured and enslaved. Alongside others, the Tibetan people are forced into a state-sponsored system of organ trafficking. And now, while the CCP seeks to crush Tibetan identity and aspiration, we see the most basic tenets of the Tibetan Buddhist faith under fire. That includes Tibetans' right to political and religious self-determination when it comes to selecting the eventual successor of His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama. You see, Madam Deputy Speaker, the Chinese Communist Party are not content in just simply trying to wipe the culture of Tibet and Tibetans, but they also want to remove their religious background. The CCP want to control who will become the successor to the Dalai Lama. And we, as a strong democracy, and I am so incredibly proud to be standing here tonight, that there is bipartisan support on this. Because if we, as democratic, loving people in Australia, if we don't stand up for the people of Tibet, then who will? And if we don't stand up for them tonight, then when will that happen? We cannot allow a whole group of people to lose their culture, their religion and their identity. That cannot happen on our watch. We must not shy away from calling out the Chinese Communist Party tonight. We must speak up on behalf of the people of Tibet and the growing number of victims of the CCP. And we all know that it is not, these actions are not constrained. These abuses of human and civil rights are not just constrained to the people of Tibet. It also goes to the Uyghurs as well. So it is incredibly important, and I'm so pleased that the member for Macquarie and Fraser and the line will also speak on this issue. But it is a matter of great pride that Australians can make this stance here tonight.